Grand National right now, and things seem to be pretty decent. It's able to pick up really nicely and got a good rate of speed going. I'm gonna turn up somewhere, okay? Hey everybody, so I'm on vacation right now, but I wanted to interrupt and just give you a little bit of backstory on this. So not only is this my first time on the road with the Grand National, but it's also my opportunity to test and tune. So in a previous video, I installed 60-pound injectors and a new Extreme G chip. And basically this is just like a tune for the Grand National. So I need to get it out on the road and adjust the fuel levels, adjust the spark levels, so that I can make sure that it's going to run optimally in all conditions. So when you see me pulling over to adjust items, it's really to get that right air fuel mixture that I really need, so I can preserve the engine, make sure nothing detonates or explodes when it's not supposed to, and get as much power out of the car as I could. So just wanted to say that. So far what I'm seeing is I'm going really lean during like mid throttle. So I'm going to command to give it a little bit more gas. Yep, I just have to, it's running a little bit lean, so not enough fuel is getting to it. So I'm upping the fuel a little bit to kind of make sure it's gonna run okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, let me move so you can get in front of me.
All right. Okay, so mid-range, I upped it to about 3%. So let's U-turn, let's get back on the road and see how it does. So still not right. I just got to add some more fuel to it. It's just it's leaning out whenever I'm trying to like really go. All right. Yep. It's funny, driving without mirrors can be a little bit daunting because you subconsciously use the mirrors to make sure you're staying within the lane. And when I'm trying to keep monitoring statistics on all of these gauges, it's hard to do all of that and stay straight at the same time. Steering wheel is a little bit crooked, but yeah, it'll do. Yeah, I need to make some more improvements to hard throttle. I'm running a little bit leaner than I would like, and pull over here and do it. Okay, it's running a bit better. I'm gonna up it just a little bit more. Yeah. So I was at 3% all the way up until like 5,200 RPMs. I'm gonna up it to 6%, and I'm gonna go all the way up to 6,400. I'm not gonna take it to that level, but just in case. I'm also adjusting the low a little bit as well. I'm gonna up that 3%. So right now, to recap, mid-range, I'm about 6% from 1200 RPMs up. On the low side, I'm gonna go 3% from 1200 all the way up. Alright, let's see what we get. So adjusting that was so much better. And now I'm getting good part throttle response. When I try to step on it and let it drop a gear, it's leaning out. So now I know I need to up the high side as well. So on these MAF Translator Gen 2s, you can adjust low, medium, and high. And usually what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to start off with high numbers, like giving it more fuel all the way. And then you can cut back gradually so you're protecting the engine. And that's what I'm gonna do as soon as I get to the gas station. I just want to eliminate low fuel as a possible reason. My gas gauge isn't working. I know I gave it a few gallons, so I know I can make it around the corner to the gas station. So we made it out of the neighborhood. Air fuel ratio is right around 14-ish. So it's coming. Forgot what side the gas tank is on. Oh wait, it's in the rear. I forgot about that. The gas is in the rear, folks, so you don't have to pick a side. We made it. Let me show you. So I'm outside with the car and I want to do some fine tuning. So I'm going to show you what I'm looking at right now. So the car is up to temperature. Let me take you through. About 153. I have a 160-degree thermostat in there. The low fans are on right now. And I noticed that my RPMs are at 900. And my IAC is at 0. So IAC is idle air controller. It's basically a little stepper motor that opens up to let extra air in, and it meters how much air the engine needs to keep it running. It's normally between 10 and 30, so once the car is warmed up. The fact that it's at 0 means that there's a screw that lets air into the throttle as well. That screw is probably a little bit too tight. It's letting too much air in, so it's not letting the intake air controller do its job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back that out a smidge and try to get this reading between 10 and 30. And also, TPS is at 0.40. It's sometimes it dips to 0.38, sometimes it's right at 0.40. I think I'll leave it for now just because it's looking good, but you really should try to get it between 42 and 48. But right now let's leave it at 40. Let's see how this this idle screw, well, this air screw takes care of things. So taking a look, right behind this, there's that star screw right there. That's a T25. And what you need to do, you need to back that up just a little bit so it'll close that throttle blade just a smidge, and it'll give my idle air controller a little bit more leeway to do its job. So let's do that real quickly.
Listen to me, like I do this all the time. Linda, listen, Linda, listen.
Okay, what?
That made a difference in the way it runs. I've heard it. Right now my IAC is at 5. So let's do it just a smidge more. My RPMs are right around 825. So right now, IAC is at 14, so now we're within spec. But my TPS is at 0.36. So I'm going to need to do that reset to get it back within that factory spec of 0.42 to 0.48. So let me do that right quick as well. So setting this TPS is a breeze. So what I'll do is I'll lightly unscrew these two set screws, and I'll use the readout that's on the SKANDR to tell me how close I am. Okay, that looks good. So let's set it and forget it.
Set it and forget about it.
You set it and forget it.
Yeah, I'm old, I'm corny, so. In any case, we are back up to 0.44. So at a really good point where we can start it back up and see what it does here. So I was running into a situation on the first test drive where the car was running a little bit lean in the mid and upper ranges. Since I'm using an Extreme G chip, I left it in. I turned the setting for closed idle off, and I kept the car in open idle the entire time. So with that, the car's looking at the oxygen sensor to determine, and a few other sensors, of course, to maintain that perfect 14:1. And it blocks out all of the block settings for low, mid, and upper ranges. And what I got out of that was a lot more power, great air-fuel ratios, and the car just performed better all around. A little bit earlier in this video, I misstated that the code that was on my SKANMaster 24 was for the mass airflow. I assumed that because the check engine light came on right as I was fumbling with those wrong settings. But 24 is really for the vehicle speed sensor. And I think what's going on is there's a cable that runs from the transmission up to the speedometer, and it basically tells the speedometer how fast the car is going. Now that has been working intermittently since I've owned the car. At first it never worked. It worked one time when I was going on that doors off test drive, and it's not working now. And I'm hearing this this sound as I'm driving. So I'm wondering if that cable isn't fully set in, if it's bad. Either way, I need to check it out to make sure that it's not bad. So that's one issue that I was able to find on my shakedown. Number two, if you see right here, I have brake lights that are on all the time. And, well, unless I go behind the pedal and pull it out. So if anybody with their Turbo Regal has that same issue, please drop in the comments how you're able to fix it. I can't fix mine, and it's driving me crazy having to do that every time in traffic, because I want to make sure that I'm staying safe and people behind me aren't confused about my whereabouts. So besides those two things, we fixed it's like suspension. Suspension is crappy. So I got to do that. And it's going to need a total overhaul. So all of that's going to need to be done. So more to come on that soon. Also, as I was leaving the house, there's a medium-sized bump that I run into, and the car is scraping under that. The lowest point on the car is the core support that I made, and it hangs really low, and it's too far forward. So it's out of spec with the factory core support. The mounting holes for the fenders are perfect, and I'll show you why. So where these mount up, perfect, right? Same thing on the other side. Where it goes up down there, that's fine. But when you take a look underneath the car, you start to see the worry, right? That's too low. That's level, okay? So it's just a little too low. And it's causing it to scrape, number one. Number two, it's causing this radiator to sit a little too far forward and down. And I have to use zip ties to hold the radiator and the fan up. And I want to get it in a prime position because I really need it back in its original spot, because it's causing this hose to be overextended and this one as well. You hot air guys, I believe it's just the hot air that has this, but this hose is actually supposed to sit in here. So the fact that this is so far forward means that this has to now sit diagonal instead of horizontal. So it's a few things that I want to correct with that. And that'll come in subsequent videos.